different. It can be quirky, it can be different, it can be stupid. I really don't mind. It's basically a video about making makeup as a present for Christmas for my coworkers. So like I was not planned at all. I had zero time, so everything is super late. Sorry. As well, one of the books that I ordered for one of my boss came super late, and it was in Spanish, and I was like, I must have been really tired that day. So tomorrow Barnes and Nobles will come really handy. Over there after tomorrow closes at 10 anyway in 14th Street. So yeah, I had my first job after 4 years of experience. Because I did tons of internship, I used my OPT year really well, and because I started working basically when I was in college, and it became really clear for me that the path that I would like to take is a double career in my companies that has nothing to do at all with what I do and a career. But for now I just have a job, and when I took it in, they told me to only wear black, and for me it didn't ring a bell in my mind, because most of the designers wear black, and I come from a design background. And in 2016, when I started preparing for my patent with my lawyer, I really dived into technology way more than I did when I was in college and in my work experience, and I started learning coding. But if you watch one of the previous videos, I will explain it, and I just never gave up on it. I continue to, and it was like a rabbit hole. So I did fashion and technology, I filed a patent on fashion and technology, and I'm filing a second patent on fashion and technology until I have them accepted. If I don't, I will redo the entire process, just because I'm very, I know for a fact that the ideas are valid and are doable and are patentable. So if I mean, that's pretty much what I know, and it's based on facts. So I have, I think, pretty much several things going on at once, so I'm used to it, and it's all about prioritizing. And during that, in this environment, it really didn't ring a bell for me, and I was like, clothes, I really love it. I used to design in 2 hours 75 variation of the same jacket and handle it to the designers that would pick and choose which one was the best and which one to send to the factory. And this is basically what I used to do in CAD design. It became really clear for me that it was a very good thing, and then I went to work someone else. When I received my papers, I basically took the first thing that came to my hand. I was like, okay, I'm gonna sign up for that. I don't really know. Anyway, I know that I will come up with a solution, and I will take it on for me. And once you get into an industry and you have a pretty analytical mind, you kind of know what fits you, and you can know where you can implement on and where you can grow and what you can solve, and so on and so forth. So I kind of took this job, and I really enjoyed it, because for 2 years I was really alone. I was working with people, but I was working via internet, and as you know, I'm still blogging about fashion and technology, and I started in there wearing black clothes, and it was like a way to differentiate us in there from other people in there. And it became really clear that I still needed something to express my individuality, and I did. And then after a while, I started experimenting with makeup, and I said very early on my Instagram, even before that job, that I was gonna take mostly Huda Beauty products, just because I love this company. She started out as a blogger. She's an amazing person. I think she did a very successful business, and she started out with lashes, believe it or not. And for anyone in the beauty industry that knows about about the beauty industry of a drag queen industry. Most of the drag queens make the makeup that you wear, and lashes, you have walls of them in professional makeup stores. So to have started out with lashes and pioneering for lashes inside of Sephora, and it was extremely, she reinvented and refought the lashes, and that was quite amazing. So I'm gonna try to make it as fast as possible. Basically, I switched to another department, and within seconds I could sense that people knew each other from a very, very long time, and so I was kind of like the new girl, and that's the story of my life. I'm always a new girl, pretty much. Hey, I'm an immigrant, I'm from France. Hey, this and this. Now, I was always a new girl. So I wanted to introduce myself in my own way, which was a non-invasive and non-aggressive and a very polite and cordial and classy way to introduce myself. And I'm not someone very frontal. I speak very low. I'm not someone very frontal, like, hey, I'm Leah, nice to meet you. I am more in the background. For me, the way to introduce myself was to have a signature, and I started looking at makeup because I had to wear black clothes. And the way I could do a signature was I went into a Sephora, which is my known territory, and I started looking for things that could fit me and that were in a corner that I was like, oh, maybe they're in a corner, not many people would pick on it, and so on and so forth. And I found this product, which is Cover FX. Sorry, I'm like hiding my lost nail. So sorry. And Cover FX, which is basically this. Sorry, I'm a little sick. This illuminator, glittering illuminator, and they have a range of highlighters, and they have 3 glittery one. So there is one which is iridescent, kind of bluish, and one that is pink, and one that is gold. I have thousands of gold. I was not gonna buy gold, so I bought the blue one and the pink one. And every single day, religiously, I used to apply it on my cheekbones up to my eye corner. And I started doing my own eyeshadow and mixing it with a Huda Beauty Nude Palette right here. So I'm reshooting this video, so I already started destroying it. So I bought two new palettes right here. So those are the new Nude Palette. Oops. And basically there is 18 eyeshadow. And it's like that, girls. And what I want to do with those 18 eyeshadow, I'm not gonna use 18 of them at all. I do like the kind of like cereal concoction that I do. I'm gonna put them in the godet, make the little mixture, and just handing it and mixing it a little bit with the signature that, by the way, started, to my surprise, a movement. I really didn't know that. So basically this signature helped me. I really want to share the story because I think that can help other people as well. And life is made for that. Like you can like help other people. So basically it was a way, like, there were a lot of traffic going on, and it was easier to have a signature for me, and I became the kind of like glitter girl. So Brochenko says that black and white and glitters are non-color, and I believe that. I think that they are not colors. They are forms of design neutral, balance, temperament. They are non-color, and glitters are non-color too. So basically I became the girl with the glitter within days of, like, after 2-3 weeks, I became the girl with the glitter. By now they know my name. Some of them maybe don't know it, and I wouldn't be offended. I mean, clearly those people are dealing with 300, 400 different type of people. They have their own type of démarche, which is like the hustle, if you like to say. They don't have a time to know, like, I am the last person that you have to know the name of, and I wouldn't be offended at all. I really don't mind. It was not my goal to be like, hey, yeah, know me, blah blah blah. And to have a signature helps me become memorable. Like, I was becoming and having like a memorized thing. I mean, I think that you pretty much have to have some type of physical consistency at all times, at all costs. For example, I never changed my hair color. I was always blonde. I've always been blonde since the last 20 years. Not 20 years, 15 maybe. I started, yeah, 15. Since the last 15 years. I think that I had one period when I was a teenager, like in crisis, like, I'm gonna make my hair red. Started a summer, I was in England, and like when I came back from England, my mom was like, you take this off right off. My mom is an amazing human being. I think she's one of the most important persons in my life, with my sister, and I think she taught me the right attitude to approach life, and that I'm very thankful about. She taught me to be resourceful, she taught me to be helpful, and she was the ground breaking of my entrepreneurship. As far as I'm concerned, she always pushed me to develop my own things, my own ideas, my own perception of the world, and yeah, I was pretty much, I mean, I think that was a nature also that I had, that she saw when she pushed, which is like different. And to come back to it, it was very, very important. And I started having people not only recognizing me, but stopping me inside of the place where I worked, because there is a lot of traffic, and I'm like, what is this? Like, what are those glitters? Like, blah blah blah, this and this and that. And within 2 months or 3 months, only by recommendation, I think I've actually sold 20 of those. And I started a forum of movement where people wanted to buy it. And I was like, you know, when you know that you are onto something, but you don't know what it is, I was like, this is not a narcissistical, egotistical problem that I have, like making my own eyeshadow for my coworkers. It's just like, oh, where is the thing take you? Because clearly it's going to be very bad science. It's clearly very, very bad business, because I'm sure that they would prefer, I have 16 Godet right now, and they would prefer to receive the Huda Beauty Nude Palette, and I am not gonna buy 20, 30 Nude Palette. Like, that's out of common sense. I'm gonna buy probably around 7. I start with 3 and we will see how much do I need, because it's really an experiment, so I don't know. Maybe I will end up getting the last ones by the end of January, and I'm so sorry for that, but you know what counts as a gesture, and I just want to know where it's gonna end up. And basically, I really don't mind when people are like, oh, her with her glitter, like she's like a Christmas tree. By the way, I have my first say that we are gonna do a very bad science and a very bad experiment, and see where it's gonna take us. Like, is it gonna, are people gonna like it? Are they gonna use it? Are they gonna just put it into your drawer and say like, this girl is completely nuts, she has an ego trip, like very bad. And it's very freeing. And like, I do a lot of coding, and coding is like a rabbit hole, because once you get into Java, like I started coding when I was in college, because I took web design 1, web design 2, blah blah blah, front end, this and that. So you start off learning HTML and then CSS, of course CSS, and then when I continued. And then you want your website with animation, so you learn Java. And then with Java, I didn't dig too much in Java. I went to Python and Swift by necessity for Apple. and Python because I just like the flow of Python. So it's called Python because when you code, it's like a snake going in and out. And with Python, you can create algorithm, and basically whatever you are creating is technology is very creative, as like anyone, like nobody will suspect it. It's extremely creative. It's like science, chemistry is extremely creative too. I will never get into those fields for sure, but basically once you create your line of code, and I really want to talk about codes because you can be a girl and code, yes, and do experimental makeup. Basically once you create that, you amass form of data, and the more the users is coming, the more you amass data. And data is not at all like information that you implant from your like information. Data is clearly a massive amount of collection that are moved through the algorithm that gives you a form of knowledge, and then you transfer it into a map, and within the map you start interpreting. That's why we call it science, because it's like a literature. Like you have to interpret what you are seeing on the map, and you can retrace basically everyone information, everyone hidden secrets, everyone things that they don't even know. Some people just with data can predict you that you are pregnant and you don't even know it. So it's all of those things, and I think it's very important. So once you go into an industry, some people will tell you like, oh, everything has been talked about, and you just like we do the same idea, the same thing. I really believe that it's one of the most important thing in life is to create something and is to invent something. That's what I strive for. That's really my deep down core, and that's what I live for. And the rest is surplus, extra. Like if you are positive extra, amazing. If you are negative extra, not amazing at all. So let's dive in and let's start. It's gonna be a long YouTube video, but I really enjoy doing it, and I don't think I will cut any of this actually.